Hi everyone, another week, another build. This week we're going to do something a little bit smaller. This set, which is a little storybook, it's actually called Creative Storybook. It was a gift with purchase from the Lego company. So I don't think you can buy this set. This set has 307 pieces, so this should go pretty quick. Let's get right to building. Now I normally don't pre-sort my pieces, but in this case a lot of the pieces were identical and there were some fairly large pieces, so I decided to separate those and just put them around the outside. Have a lot of the smaller pieces just jumbled up here in the middle. For a small set like this, pre-sorting would just make the build go a little bit quicker. Looks like the first thing we're doing is a couple minifigs. Looks like this one's a small child. And gentleman in a suit. Oh, the child is holding a pretzel for some reason. And the man has a storybook, which has a nice printed brick. There's no stickers in the set, and the printed brick says "Once Upon a Time." And this should go in his hand. And this is supposed to represent, I believe, a quill pen. Or maybe a bookmark, not sure. There's our two minifigs. Get him to stand up on his own. All right, we're done the two halves of the storybook. Let's look at the back. This is the front. There'll be more going on here in the front in a minute, but so these two halves are identical. And with the little claw hooks here, they're going to attach into the spine. I'm going to make sure I get this in the right orientation. These stay flipped over because that's the back. And they should just connect into here. Well, that went well. What about this side? Yep. So it does bend ever so slightly. Not a whole lot of movement. Just enough to have it be slightly inclined. I'm going to set this aside for now. We're going to do the assemblies that go inset into these openings right here. Here's our two halves of the storybook. First one looks like it's just kind of like a cobblestone pattern, and the second one's obviously water, a little bit of grass. Now there's the mating hinge elements here that go into the hinge pieces here. Actually an interesting way that they decided to do this, because they won't actually move, but they just snap in there. Well, they do rotate a little bit. I'll show that here in a minute. Make sure I get it in the right spot. So, might be hard to see. They do rotate just a little bit to sit inside the book. I'm not sure if they're supposed to rotate. Yes, they do. Yeah, because the next step is to put these on top. And that holds everything into place. And I put that in the wrong spot right off the beginning. So the construction is a little more complicated than what I originally thought. Oh, there's another printed brick here. It just says Hans Christian Andersen. Hans Christian Andersen was an author, I think like in the 1800s, that was responsible for a lot of the stories you're familiar with, like The Little Mermaid, Thumbelina, stuff like that. So there's the base of the book. Now we're just going to build some stuff on top of these two scenes. So the 5 decorative elements we made are a flower arrangement, a goose, and I love how just a very small amount of Lego pieces can make something look like an animal. This clearly is a goose, or at least some sort of a bird. We have a bench and old-time street lamp, and a little fountain. So put all these in. Goose goes right there. Put our man with the book sitting on the bench. So there we have it, our little storybook diorama. Now normally this isn't a set that I would purchase, but since it was a gift with purchase, I consider sets like these, although still quite nice. I do like how it looks. These, for me, I don't display too often. This will be just a what I call a parts set. And there's quite a few interesting parts in here. I like the fountain element. It's always nice to have clear or transparent bricks, because you can do these for, like, say, water features or fire or other elements like that. We got the stonework here. We got nice smooth pieces. The back of the book is quite unremarkable because it isn't finished. It's not meant to be displayed. But overall, a nice set. It didn't take long to build. It is quite nice. I do like the printed brick, although that'll never be used again in another set. The last thing I want to show is in the instruction manual. And in the first page, first 2 pages, it shows a bunch of little scenes. Now there's a little disclaimer in text right at the bottom here that says these scenes cannot be made with the parts that are in this set. But it just shows you some of the different stories that Hans Christian Andersen came up with. And these are small enough that apart from the minifigs, I could probably build a lot of these with just the parts that I have available in my parts bins. And I can't read with holding it up that way, but we've got Princess and the Pea, Emperor's New Clothes, Steadfast Tin Soldier, Little Mermaid, The Ugly Duckling, The Nightingale, The Snow Queen, which I believe Frozen was loosely based off of, Jack and the Dullard, I haven't heard of that one. And yeah, the dates on here, like 1835 to 1875. So definitely the 1800s. So who knows, maybe one day I'll try to build some of these. I think that's why this is called a creative set. It means you can use the parts to build other things. Well, I guess you can do that with any set, but this one's intended to be built with, or to make other things with it. So there you go. What do you think? Like I say, I do have more storybook sets to build. I have one, I believe, that's Charles Dickens. I guess I'll do that a little bit closer to Christmas and be more appropriate for that one. I just wanted to do something quick this week. It's been a challenging couple of weeks at work and haven't had a lot of time to do building, so just wanted to make sure I had something uploaded for this week. So thanks very much for watching, and I'm not sure what we're going to do next week. Depends how much time I have, but we'll try to have something new for next week.